Thanks for coming back. It's Mitsuhide. Just gotta speak a few words about this bullshit about Capcom and their bullshit, as Event Status would say. Actually, he would say Capcom and do a little fist thing, you know. But so Street Fighter. Just to give you some history. Street Fighter is my all-time favorite fucking video game. Like, ever since. Like, Street Fighter 2 was the first video game I ever played in an arcade as a kid. Like, I mean, I played games at home on Atari or NES or whatever, but like, the first actual arcade game I ever played was Street Fighter 2. Instantly fell in love, and it's been my shit ever since. Like, Street Fighter is my favorite everything, man. It's my favorite game. It's my favorite anime. Favorite comic book. Street Fighter is just my shit. Like, Capcom, oh God, because of that, Capcom inadvertently became my favorite developer. You know, I mean, all their games, fantastic. Like, just think back to the SNES, PlayStation 2. You couldn't go wrong. Like, I used to buy Capcom games on principle. Like, I go be like, man, what kind of game I want? I mean, because this was like back in the day before the internet and all that shit. So like, word of mouth was all you had as far as like how video games were. But I didn't even need that shit. I would go to my game store, be like, man, I want to get a game. Be looking around, like, oh, I don't know what to get, man. I'm not anticipating anything. And I'll just be looking at random shit and like, oh, this game says Capcom on it. Buy it, take it home. Best game you ever played. PlayStation 3, Capcom's been going downhill. I mean, they've been fucking up with Mega Man. The whole thing with Marvel vs. Capcom on PlayStation 3. You know, how they released two versions of the same game, which should have just been an update, and all the different iterations of Street Fighter 4, you know, whatever. They fucked up. But like, I mean, Street Fighter 4 was still a good game. Like, out of all their fuck ups, Street Fighter seemed to remain intact. I mean, I know Street Fighter Cross Tekken was kind of it's a fun game, but it's not necessarily Street Fighter per se. Like, Street Fighter has always been perfectly fine until fucking now. So, Street Fighter 5, I didn't pre-order it. I never pre-order games. That shit's stupid to me. I just go to the store and buy them when they come out. So, I bought this shit day fucking one. I took a day off from work. Actually, I took a couple of days off of work because I wanted to play it. Went to GameStop, bought Street Fighter. You know, day fucking one. I even bought extra shit. I bought the fucking Street Fighter skull cap, t-shirt. I got some socks. Like, I was so pumped for Street Fighter 5, man. I remember getting hyped from looking at the trailers and all that shit. Like, Street Fighter 5 was gonna be my shit. I even went, cause like, for PlayStation 2, I did buy those, you know, 15th anniversary Street Fighter controllers. I had the Ryu and Akuma one. Those were excellent. PS2, I ended up getting the, like, I don't like using the arcade sticks. Even though, you know, I started with the arcade, it's just, you know, at home I like to use a regular controller. So, like, Street Fighter, for PlayStation 3, I didn't buy any of the Mad Catz licensed Street Fighter controllers. I just bought, you know, the Hori Fighting Commander 3 Pro. Excellent controller. Excellent. So, I was going to get the Hori, I was actually going to get the Hori Mortal Kombat pad for Street Fighter, for PlayStation 4 originally, because it was the same pad just for PS4, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait. Street Fighter 5 is coming out, there's bound to be a controller for that. So it was the Mad Catz controller. That was what I pre-ordered, so I could have it day one, you know, when I went to buy Street Fighter. That controller is absolute garbage. I am so pissed. It's the Mad Catz Fight Pro 3. Just garbage. I can't even use the shit. Like, so thankfully this had the legacy control option, so I can use my Hori on it. But, you know, I can't fault Street Fighter or Capcom for that, because they didn't actually make it. But it adds to the experience. You know what I mean? It adds to the experience. And I'm on the menu screen for a reason, by the way. You know, I'm not fighting anybody right now, but it just adds to the experience. Because that was my first upset. Then I go and put the fucking game in day one, and the shit doesn't work. Y'all remember that day one, the game didn't fucking work. It was horrible. Day two, the game finally works, and I mean, fighting online is cool, whatever. I mean, the game works as far as like gameplay wise, it's solid. But then there's the missing content. Like they're like, yeah, this game's gonna have a story mode. Like, and you remember when the game first started, like this was missing, all right? Like you could see it, challenges, but it wasn't there. You couldn't use it. And then there's no arcade mode, right? But there was a story mode, so it was like, that must be the arcade mode. Now I remember going there, and they had the character story, right? And it's like, okay, you pick your character, it's, I thought it was just their new wording for arcade mode, right?
The answer.
But y'all remember
there shouldn't
this?
only be one.
Like, it was like 3 to 4 stages per person. It was some bullshit. So, I mean, that's all in the past, whatever. Capcom, they came back. They were like, hey, we're going to release this new story. It's as an update. Like, they admitted to their fault. You know what I mean? They were like, hey, we released the game incomplete on purpose, kinda, because, they wanted Street Fighter V to be a part of the 2016 tournament circuit, right? So they released the game early, and then the rest of the game would come via an update. It's like, alright, whatever. It happens. Big deal. So, now that the update's complete, right? Now, before the update came, they said because of their previous fuck-up, they're going to do some stuff for us, right? They're going to do some favors for all of us who supported Street Fighter. Day one, who, bought it, supported it, what have you. And I was like, you know what? That's cool, Capcom. Thanks. So, what they said was, they're going to make available, they're going to give you and make available the pre-order costumes. Because remember, there was the shirtless Ryu, the, battle dress Chun-Li, the Cammy, and the Bison. Depending on which retailer you pre-ordered at, you got those costumes. They said they were going to give us that shit because they fucked up. So it was like, yeah, that's going to be available for everybody. They also said that Guile and Alex would be available, right? And that the Kazuki Beach stage would be. So it was like, alright, yeah, that's cool, man. Some shit to, say we're sorry. So now that the update's complete and everything, this morning I wake up and I'm like, hey, I'm going to play some Street Fighter. This is going to be excellent. So first things first, I go here to the shop, right?
Shop.
And I'm like, let me check out the characters. Now, see, we have a problem here because they said they're going to make available Guile and Alex. As you can see, Alex and Guile are not available. I'm going to have to buy these motherfuckers. I had no problem with buying these guys because that's not what they said. They said Guile and Alex, right? So, already we're fucked up. Then we go to alternate costumes. Those pre-order costumes are going to be made available, right? Now, they did mention that they were adding these. Like, paying for this shit makes sense. But there's something missing, and we're going to get into that in a second. But as you can see, Ryu, Chun-Li, Cammy, and Bison, right? They're not available. Or at least it appears that they're not available. So I'm like, okay. It says you have to go into the store to get them, right? So I'm thinking, okay, I just got to go in the store and then the price would be free, right? That's what they're saying. Well, I don't think the share function will let me go in the store, so I'm not going to do it. But if you have a copy, do it yourself. You'll see, if you go in there, it's going to charge me for that shit. It's going to cost money. So it's like, what the fuck? That's not what you said, Capcom. You said you're going to give us the pre-order costumes because you fucked up. Well, you gave it to us all right, but I still got to fucking pay for it. Now, there's something else missing. Now, you see the additional costume for Guile, right? See that thing on the side that says 40,000? Those are the fight points, right? Way back, going back way back before this update, when the game first came out, they specifically said that all content, all DLC content, will be made available using in-game fight money. So, everything will be able to be unlocked for free by earning points using actual gameplay. So just like it was back in the day, back in the PS2, PS1, Super Nintendo days, you know, you played the game to unlock your characters. It said same goes here, but there's no fight point price on this. So like, you're going back on your original promise now, because no matter what I do, I'm gonna have to pay money for this. And it's the same thing with the stages. I did actually buy the Gal stage because, you know, I mean, it brings me back. But anyway, same thing goes for this. Kazuki Beach, the I'm Sorry stage, I have to pay for that. And then here's some other bullshit real quick. High Roller Casino, right? That's Balrog's regular stage. Now, you can see the price of regular stages. They're 40,000 fight points, right? That's how much Guile stage was, too. This Kazuki Beach, alright, take aside the fact that they went back on, we're going to give you this to say I'm sorry. It's 70,000, but that makes sense, because it is a quote-unquote special stage. Kazuki already, you know, already has a stage. You know, she already has her stage in the game, her base stage, so this is an extra stage. So, it costing a little more makes sense. This is Balrog's regular-ass stage. It's, you know, it's the casino stage he's always had. Why does his cost as much as a special stage? It's ridiculous, man. Capcom. Oh, man, I was like... I know they fucked up, but I was not on that fuck Capcom bandwagon until now. Like, because then now they fucked up my favorite game, which is Street Fighter. So I'm thinking, okay, there's got to be some concession, you know, behind all this. There's got to be something, some redeeming factor behind the whole thing. So I went to check out the Season Pass, because I never bought the Season Pass. The reason why I didn't buy it is because they said everything is unlockable via gameplay. So I'm like, well, fuck a Season Pass. I'll do it the way I used to do when I was a kid and play the hell out of the game, put mad hours into it, and lock everything that way. You know, that's the fun way to do it. The Season Pass only gives you the characters. So like, I'll go back and I shouldn't have left the shop, my bad. So the Season Pass only gives you these characters plus the other two that are going to come out. And one costume for them. That's it. It doesn't give you the stages. Doesn't give you the, you know, all the bonus costume that they just added. None of that shit. Now, usually when you fucking buy a Season Pass for a game, it gives you all the DLC for that game. You buy the Season Pass, and you're, you know, pre-purchasing, pre-ordering, pre-buying, whatever you want to call it, all the DLC that's to come for that game. Nope, not Capcom. You get this shit and that's it. Everything else, give me money. So that didn't even redeem them. And I'm still mad. Yeah, they added the story mode, but I mean, it's a story mode, kind of like what NetherRealms did with Mortal Kombat, where, you know, it's a story, but there's still no arcade mode. And I don't even see a space on it. You know, space in the menu where it could fit, so there's not going to be an arcade mode. And arcade mode is important to me. Here's why, because that's how Street Fighter was meant to be played. Like, period. Like, if anybody is old enough to remember arcades, that's the way you play Street Fighter. You went to the arcade, if nobody was playing it, you put your fucking token or your quarter in, whatever it was, and you fought the AI. And then some random dude would roll up and put his quarter in, you have to fight him. If he beat you, then you have to put another quarter if you want to keep going, or you could just walk away and he'd play by himself. That's the way I've always played my Street Fighter games. Like, even on home console, like once online gaming became the thing with PS3, that's how I played Street Fighter 4. I play it on arcade, and I have the online option on where anybody can interrupt, and it gave me that feeling back. You know, being in an arcade, I'm just playing the game, some random person online challenges me. You know, that's an experience that's missing from this. And like, that arcade mode has been like, that's a standard mode in fighting games, period. Like, story mode, some new shit. It kind of really started with, you know, with Mortal Kombat 9, or just Mortal Kombat, you know, the reboot on, you know, on previous gen. But that game still had an arcade tower, you know, it never, you know, that's just a standard. I guess the closest thing to it in Street Fighter would be the survivor mode, you know, but you only get one round, you know, when you're fighting the the AI or whatever, and then hopefully someone will interrupt you if you turn the fight request on. But it's just, I don't know, it's not the same, man. It's not the same. Just I I guess what I'm trying to say is I think I'm fucking done, man. Like, this was like the straw that broke the camel's back, man. Capcom fucked up, seriously. And I know there'll be people who defend it and whatever. I mean, be that as it may. I mean, like I said, the game is still solid. The net code's good. Like, playing online is fun. But I think, like, I remember there was this big deal when I was younger. Which is better, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? You know, like, that used to be the thing to argue about, you know? And, like, I remember hoping that there would one day be a Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter so I could say Street Fighter's better. Like, yeah, it was just... I guess what I'm trying to say is Mortal Kombat fucking won, man. Like, if you go to Mortal Kombat X right now, the game is, what, I think it's like $39.99 or $49.99 on the PS Store, and you get everything. There is some extra shit that they just recently added, but I mean, even the pricing on that, it's like, for the extra stuff that they added, you know, to use as incentive for tournaments or whatever, you know, to put in the money pot for Mortal Kombat tournaments, it's something like $2 per person, per thing, you know, per alternate costume or whatever, and you know, it's not even necessary as far as like the game content and all the DLC, the core DLC, you know, not including the charity. You know, pretty much. I mean, because that's all it is, that extra stuff that you don't get in XL. It's just charity. It's just you basically donating money, you know, as a prize to, you know, professional Mortal Kombat players when they compete in tournaments. Don't have to do it. It's not an actual part of the game. That shit's cool. And, like, the pricing on that, man, it's amazing. Like, this shit is expensive as hell. Like, I looked at the price for the characters. If you don't have the season pass or whatever, you're not going to use fight money. It's like $6 per character. Those costumes are like $4 each. Like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, why are they... I don't know, is Capcom in trouble still? I don't know. Like, why are they nickel and dime us, man? Like, damn, I'm just so upset, man. They fucked up Street Fighter, and that's horrible. But I mean, I'm still gonna check out this story mode. Like, I'll play it. Hopefully it's good. I'm not gonna do it right now. You know, I got other shit to do later on tonight, and I'll, you know what, I'll even live stream it, and hopefully it's good, but I don't know, like, next Street Fighter, if there is another Street Fighter, like Street Fighter 6 or whatever, day one is not going down. Like, I am seriously waiting for that shit. I'm waiting for the, you know, if there's a Game of the Year edition or Ultimate edition or whatever, I'm waiting for the reviews to come on, all that shit, like, man, it's just sad. Like, I've officially lost faith in Capcom, man. They fucked up. Beyond all fucking up. It's over. And, like, people will have their arguments about it, you know, about why it happened or whatever. Like, I remember hearing someone say it's because development left from, you know, east to west, and this is just the Western way of doing things. I call bullshit on that, because going back to Mortal Kombat, that's as West gets, as far as, you know, video game development goes. And NetherRealm isn't nickel and diming people, man. Like, yeah, they do DLC, but it's not necessary. Like, I mean, you can do, you get the season pass, you get everything. If you wait, you know, if you just wait and buy the game later, you get, you know, just buy the complete edition, get everything. Like, there's no broken promises. Like, no broken promises. The game worked to day one. The netcode kind of sucked with MK, but I mean, they patched it and fixed it or whatever. You know, Injustice, it was kind of it's gotten better. I mean, it had its problems. It wasn't perfect, but at least you got what you paid for, and you got, for the most part, what you were expecting was a good, complete game. Like, these motherfuckers charged me $60 for a beta when the game first came out, and now that the game's complete, it's still fucked up because you went back on your word. Like, even, let's say that we misinterpreted what they meant by, we're gonna give you the battle costumes that were available for pre-order, and we're gonna give you the Kazuki Beat stage or whatever. Let's say I misinterpreted that. You still went back on your word because you said that everything DLC will be unlocked using gameplay if you want it. If you wanted to put that time in and effort in, you can unlock it using gameplay. And I can't unlock this shit using gameplay. The option's gone. So no matter how you spin it or try to defend it, in the end, they fucked up. They admitted to releasing an incomplete game, and now they're going back on their word as far as how DLC works. And this isn't by any means Capcom's first fuck up at all, but this is the fuck up that fucked me up. So, yeah, I don't know, man. You possibly just lost Street Fighter's biggest fan with this bullshit, man. I don't know. That's all I got to say on that, guys. I got other shit to do, but thanks for coming out again, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you want to come back later on tonight, I'll do another, I'll actually do a live stream of the story mode. We'll see what that's like. Hopefully it's good. Just make sure to subscribe so you get that, that email when it starts, and, hopefully you come out to join me. But thanks again, guys, for coming out. I appreciate it. You all have a good one.